Hi, my name is Alicia Ahn, and I'm a business analyst for Infor OS. In this video, I'll go over the essential portal administrative features. Infor OS allows for a seamless integration for Infor certified applications and also third-party applications, giving you a common user interface for a smooth transition between all your applications. This provides a cohesive user experience within a single Infor OS framework. We will go over materials from managing applications and associating context applications to configuring tenant-level settings. Pause and refer to the agenda if you want to jump forward to any particular section. Just on a high level, let's touch on security roles. The most basic portal security role is a portal suite user. This gives users access to the dark gray bar at the top of the screen. This includes the home button, the app switcher, the user menu, bookmarks, and the share icon. Other icons for the inbox and the chat application also reside in the portal bar, but they're dependent on other security roles. Inbox and other inbox-related items like alerts, tasks, and pulse notifications need the Mingle Enterprise and the ION-enabled security role. Chat would obviously need any of the 4 chat security roles. The more relevant security role for this video will be your tenant administrator role, known as the Mingle administrator. This gives users access to the admin settings link in the user menu. These security roles can be assigned to a user in the Infor Federation Services screen, also known as IFS. Learn more on how to assign these security roles in the Infor OS user management video. So users with the Mingle Administrator security role can click on the user menu and see the admin settings link. This will take you to the main admin settings page. Admin settings is broken down into 5 main tabs. You have the Manage Applications, Manage Context and Utility Apps, Manage Drillbacks, Infor Go Administration, and General Settings. Infor OS brings together Infor's enterprise applications and also third-party applications. Here's where it happens. The panels below are the applications that are available today for this tenant. To add an application, in the corner right, you'll see an Add Application icon. Now that I'm in the Add Application screen, I can select from the 3 deployment modes. First, you have your Infor provisioned applications. This is a Cloud Infor certified application provisioned by the CSP. Next is your Infor non-provisioned application. This is an Infor certified application running on-prem. You can incorporate this in a hybrid fashion. So both Infor provisioned applications and your Infor non-provisioned applications are both defined in the registry. The last option is your non-Infor application. This is if you've developed your own application and want it to run in the portal. For more information on third-party applications, watch Infor OS Adding a Third-Party Application video, where we dive deeper into the prerequisites, the guidelines, and walk you through an example. I'm going to select Infor Non-Provisioned Application where the deployment information is. Here it asks for the application name. Click on the application and version you want to add to your tenant. You can see the dropdown is listed in alphabetical order. Once you've selected the application with the correct version, you have an option to update the display name. This display name is used in the app switcher and in the admin settings panel screen. Choose an icon for your application. Pick from an array of colorful icons. The icon itself comes from the registry. Next is your logical ID. This is a unique ID for your application and it's mainly used for drillbacks. Type in your host name. These are your server details. And lastly, your port, context, and default tenant. These fields are not mandatory. Once you review the information, click Save. Now you can see that I've received a successful confirmation prompt. Let's continue on to manage an application. We are in Admin Settings under Manage Application. Double-click on the application and you are taken to the Application Details screen. You can change the icon color or even update the display name. Just remember to save your changes. Under the middle segments, there are sub-tabs. By default, you can see the deployment information. I'm currently looking at a provisioned application, so all I'll see is a logical ID and read-only view. For non-provisioned and third-party applications, I will see editable fields for logical ID and other details. Next is the Permissions tab. Permission will be auto-populated with the security roles that belong to the application. As a tenant administrator, I can add security roles or specific users to give them access. Once they're added, they'll appear in this table. Users and users with the security roles will see the application in the app switcher, giving them access. You can also remove users and security roles. Before we move on to associating context and utility apps to an application, let's briefly touch on the difference. Both are pluggable user interface components occupies a small panel on the right side of the screen. What makes them different? A context application is a lightweight application that reacts to the user behavior in the main application running on Infor OS. These applications follow the standard Infor Business Context Protocol and can display contextual information dependent on the application frame. For example, we have a related information context app, which displays relevant information pertaining to the screen. If I were looking at assets, I could see a relevant invoice or a product image on the right in the related information context tab. However, utility apps are static applications that display within the context panel no matter what the application screen the user is on. For example, we have the Alerts context app, which displays a list of alerts. If associated, it will always display and does not communicate with the screen. Now that we have some insight, let's see how they're mapped. Here I am in the Financials and Supply Management Application Details screen, and I've got the Context and Utilities sub-tab. In this tab, I can see that all context and utility apps that are currently associated to this application. We have the name, whether it's context or utilities, the status, enabled or disabled. If I want to enable the Task Viewer Context app, just click on the toggle and save. If you have a few enabled and you want to display it in a particular order, you can rearrange them by holding down the hamburger icon and dragging it up or down. Add more context and utility apps or delete them using this button. We've gone over on how to associate context and utility apps to an application, but let's work the other way around. In the Manage Context Utility Apps, you can see a list of all the standard ones Mingle provides. The initial mapping is done in the registry, but you can manage and associate other applications to a context utility app here. If you've created your own context app, you can click this button up here. Specify the type, whether it's a utility or context app, the name, the description, the URL, and the application help URL, but that's not mandatory. Click Save and see it added to the table. Now let's do the mapping. I'm clicking on the Context app and the sub-tab Context Message to specify the message type. Infor Business Context. And then go to the sub-tab and add all the applications you want this app to be displayed in. And there you go. Portal provides Infor applications the ability to use globalized settings. In admin settings, the tenant administrator can set the fallback language, locale, and time zone. This would be used if the end user set their language to browser default and the language set in their browser is not supported by Infor OS. Then the admin fallback language would be used. Infor OS supports a vast list of languages. If your applications do not support all those languages, you can limit the list of a language a user can select from. Right below the fallback language field, there's an option to allow users to select only specific languages. You will see an available language box with a list of all the supported languages for Infor OS. You can select specific languages and click on the right arrow to move it to the Displayed Languages box. Essentially, all the languages moved to the Displayed Languages box will be a new list of languages an end user can use. Note, the fallback language must be a language in the Display Language box, or else Portal will throw an error. Now that I've limited my languages, you can see an end user can only pick from those languages. If user sets their language to browser default and is no longer supported, then the language will be derived from the admin fallback language. Once the user logs out, they're taken to a successful logout screen. If you want your users to be redirected to a different page, say for example your company site, you can use this feature to do that. Select the checkbox and enter a valid HTTPS URL to redirect users once they've successfully logged out. Let's use the Infor site. Want to change the home icon on the corner left of your screen? By default, the Infor logo is the home icon. If you'd like a generic home icon, then select the second option. Option 3 gives you the ability to upload your own image. Let's try this out. Now that we've updated the icon, let's see where we can have this icon drill back to. By default, if Home Pages is configured, it will take the users back to the homepage application. If you don't want the icon to have a drill back, select the second option. To add your own link, add a valid HTTPS URL. This will open the page in a new screen. This setting gives administrators the option to select what is displayed in the user menu in the portal bar. Option 1 is the user menu icon, which is the default behavior. Option 2 is the user icon and the name. Option 3 is the profile picture for the user. And option 4 is the profile picture and name. Note, if the first name and the last name is too long, we use the first name and the last name initial. If the user didn't upload their own profile picture, we use the user menu icon. Lastly, let's briefly touch on the social and chat settings. You specify whether you want the directory page to sort names by first or last name, restrict the out-of-office feature, hide social objects, streams, templates, and the search bar from the portal. The rest are chat-related settings. This is our instant messaging platform. Standard chat topics is where you can rename the general and help desk topic. These changes are applied only to new groups. All older group topics will keep their existing names. This is the chat-related setting for read receipts. You can enable it and give users the option to turn on or off their read receipts. Option 2 is to enforce, which forces the user to use this feature, and there's no option to turn this off. Option 3 is disabling it for users, so the user can't see or use this feature. This wraps up the main features available for Portal. If you have any questions, contact me at alicia.on@infor.com.